Hi, this is Aaron Dubinsky coming to you today from the Chut Shel Chesed Yeshiva Beit Knesset, located in Yerushalayim, the holy city of Yerushalayim, in the beautiful state of Israel, under the direction of our beloved rabbi and spiritual guide, Rabbi Shalom Arush. May Hashem bless him always. You know, curiosity is a great thing in the right context. It's not always so great, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But curiosity is a great thing because without it, where would we be today? We'd have no fire. We'd be sitting around a campfire that didn't burn, just a bunch of wood. We would have no cars. We would have no bicycles. We'd have no wheels. We would not have all the physical things that we have today that make our lives so convenient, so lovable, so livable, so wonderful. All of the things that we have today, the medicines, all of the ways of curing people of diseases that 100 or 200 years ago had absolutely no way of being cured. In this context, curiosity is a great thing. However, in the improper context, curiosity kills the cat. That's an old expression in America. I don't know if it's worldwide or not, but it's very true. Because it can lead us to places that we don't want to go. We have a complete book that is our spiritual guide for governing our lives, our body, our soul, everything else. It's called Torah. It's called Torah. It tells us everything we need to do, everything we need not to do, and then gives provisions for later on as things advance, as they do in science. I mean, there were no cars back when Torah was written, so somebody had to come up with halacha that governed, what do you do about cars? Do you drive them on Shabbos? You don't drive them on Shabbos? What do you do? Somebody had to come up with that. And Torah even gave provisions for that. How it was to happen, who it was to be. It starts right as soon as the physical Torah, the 5 books, ends. It goes right into the Mishnah, and it goes right into Pirkei Avot, and it tells you how Torah is supposed to go from generation to generation to generation. And it does not say anywhere in there, if I don't like something and I can't see the reason for it, I don't have to do it. It says you have to do it. You have to do it because why? Because it says so. I'm reminded of being a small child. And I was not one of the most obedient children around. And when my father, Alav Shalom, would say something, quite often my response was, why? And he looked down at me with that look that he had that was so endearing and at the same time so frightening because I was a small child. And he'd say to me, because I said so. And, if you'll notice, I'm a good deal larger than you are. Well, the same is true with Hashem and a lot of the things that He's given us. Because He said so is the reason, and because He's much bigger than we are. We don't see everything, and we don't need to see everything. But we have this tendency to want to know. We want to know, why can't we eat pork? Why can't we go out on our boat on Shabbos? That's relaxing to us. Why can't we watch football in the afternoon? That's relaxing to us. Pop a few cold ones, watch a couple of games. Why can't we do this? Well, there are reasons that have been given by the sages over time, but at the end of the day, the final reason is because God said so, and He's a great deal bigger than we are. And there's more to it than just that. If we start finding physical reasons in the spiritual world and for spiritual things, they're inevitably going to be flawed because we don't know what He knows. He knows the reason why, and it's perfectly logical. Everything is the parah aduma and the red heifer. Hashem gets it. We don't get it. We haven't got a clue. It's a chok. It's one of the many choks that we have where we have to do it simply because it says we have to do it. But these things go into our everyday life as well. How many times do people say, I know why we can't eat pork? Really, why can't we eat pork? We can't eat pork because of trichinosis. Well, we couldn't eat pork because of trichinosis because there wasn't adequate refrigeration way back then. Now we have adequate refrigeration. So we don't see hardly ever do we see trichinosis. So why can't we eat pork now? Because first of all, it didn't have anything to do with trichinosis. Maybe it had something to do with it. Again, I don't know. The answers come from Hashem. Maybe it's a part of it, but it certainly is not all of it. And the danger in us deciding what we think is a reason for things, and I say we think is the reason because we don't always know, the danger in that is it puts us in a position where we feel like things that we can't do, we actually can do. Because if indeed you believe it's because of trichinosis, you have to say, well, there's no trichinosis anymore, so now we can eat pork. No, we cannot. First of all, it has to do with having a split hoof and chewing the cud, and there's more to it than that. I quite am certain that Hashem has other reasons besides that, and we don't need to know them. Why? Because he said so, and he's bigger than us. So we need to listen to what he says. Shabbat. If we think Shabbat is just a day to goof off and not work and not go to work, there's more to it than that. I mean, yes, that's part of it. We're supposed to have a day of rest, and it is a day of rest, but it's a day of rest in the context set forth in Torah. In other words, I hear people say all the time, but I like to go fishing on Saturday, and that's a great day for fishing, and if I don't have to go to work, I'd love to do that. Why can't I do it? It is a day of rest, isn't it? It's not just a day of rest. It is a day of rest from things that are secular, from the mundane. What is more mundane than taking your boat out? There are other things people want to do. Why can't I drive? It'd be a lot more easier than walking. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? And again, the sages have given us many reasons for all of these things. They gave us the rules about driving and cars and everything else regarding Shabbos and all the other things. There's a lot of things that we didn't have on Shabbos' past. We didn't have electric ovens. We didn't have cars. There are horses and buggies, and you had to give your horse a rest anyway. There's so many things that we don't even think about. And the fact is, in these cases, curiosity does kill the cat because it gives us a reason to skip over doing what Hashem wants us to do. Remember what we talked about before. The Torah is our owner's manual. It tells us what we can do, what we should do, what we have to do, excuse me, so that this body that houses this soul, this temple that houses the spark of the divine that comes from Hashem himself, can function properly. You have to go with that. It's an important thing to understand. Imagine buying a new car, and you go to the glove box and you see the manual, the owner's manual in there, and you say to yourself, well, I don't need to read this. I know how a car works. Excuse me. I put the key in the ignition, I turn it on, and I put gas in the tank, and it goes. Yeah, that's true. That is true. For a while, that would work just fine. But let's look at some things that you would have to find out from reading it. It would tell you need to change the oil every 3,000 or 6,000 miles, depending on which car you're driving. So you skipped over that, so you don't do that. How long do you think your car will drive on the oil put in by the manufacturer at the time it was made? I guarantee you, not nearly as long as you'd like it to go. Same thing with us. We are given, the laws we are given, not as a burden on us. They are not given as a burden. Chas v'shalom. Why would Hashem want to give us a burden? He's our Father. He loves us. He wants what's best for us. He wants us to be happy. So everything he does is geared toward this end. So what do? We go by the owner's manual. In Kashrus, we go by the owner's manual. In Shabbos, we go by the owner's manual. In all halachos, we go by the owner's manual. It doesn't matter that our curiosity is so deep that we've got to know, why did Hashem want us to do this? It doesn't matter why. The point is, they are part of what's in the owner's manual for us, and we need to follow them. These are the things that will take us through our lives to the life that we're going to. We're destined to have a life with Mashiach Tzidkenu, and these things will take us there. Without them, we have very little chance. You know, it's interesting that we just read about the 10 plagues this last couple of weeks. And you notice that it always says that Hashem hardened Pharaoh's heart. So that's true. He hardened his heart. Why? Why did he harden his heart? I mean, we have free will, don't we? We all have free will. Well, I have free will, you have free will, he has free will. But there's another thing that it says in Torah, that Hashem will lead you down the path that you choose. And Pharaoh let him know early on in the game what he chose. First, he starts bargaining. Yeah, you can make your serpent. I got serpent guys who can make serpents too. Yeah, you can make blood. I got guys who can make blood too. Yeah, you got frogs. I got guys who can make frogs too. Then when he gets past the point where he can explain it, he says, all right, you can go. But the men only. And Moshe says, no, all of us go. Nope, just the men. Get back to work. And then we have another plague. Okay, all right, take it away, you can go. But just the men and women. Children have to stay here, cattle has to stay here, sheep have to stay here. You can see where Pharaoh's headed on this one. You can see the path he's chosen, to be contentious with the creator of the universe. Never a good idea, because he's bigger than we are. And he said so. But this is where Pharaoh wants to go, so he leads him there. And he tells Moshe right from the beginning, I'm going to give him this plague, then I'm going to harden his heart, and he's not going to let you go. He wanted him to go through enough of these. 10 is the magical number, so that the world could see what the creator of the universe could do. When you sit there and you say to him, I don't want to do that, because I don't believe I need to do that, because in my mind, my little pea brain, compared to the brain of the creator of the universe, I don't see a reason for that. That's what happens to us if we don't do it. We have to be very, very careful. We want to live the life we're supposed to live. We want to make sure that our curiosity is reserved for things like inventions that help mankind, medicines that save mankind, things that make our lives better, more comfortable, better as far as quantity, better as far as quality, and help bring the coming of Mashiach Tzidkenu and the third Beit HaMikdash, Bimhei Yameinu. Hey, everybody, you have a great week ahead. And listen, keep that smile on your face. It looks good on you. You all be well. God bless. Bye-bye.